Welcome to Keyboard Warriors. This is not going to be about people fighting each other with a couple of different keyboards. That could be entertainment, but I don't really want to smash up these keyboards because they're still useful as keyboards. In this show, I'll be looking at my two most expensive keyboards, which are the Redragon K605, which is also known as the Alien Supersize Mechanical Keyboard. Not really sure what's alien about it, but that's what it's called. Or the other keyboard is the Apple A2449, which is also known as the MK2A3B/A. Really catchy names there. Some people might also call it the Magic Keyboard with Touch ID. They're both 10 keyless designs, so they're both quite small, as you can see. The Redragon is slightly larger than the Apple. The Redragon that I've got here is a Micro Center edition. You might be able to see it's got Micro Center written on the space bar. It's not actually sold here in the UK, so I had to import it from the US, which was a bit annoying. Starting off, they both come with a cover, which is quite nice. I like to eat cookies when I'm working, and quite often they get lots of crumbs falling down, and it can go in between the keys and cause a lot of dirt in your keyboard, and it's quite a pain pulling all the keys off the keyboard to give it a good clean out and wash it up. So it's quite nice that they both come with covers. The cover on the Apple though is a lot nicer than the cover on the Redragon. The cover on the Redragon is basically just a plastic bag, while the cover on the Apple goes all the way round. Got this this little tab here, which is a bit weird, but that's how it comes. The other thing, the Redragon, the cover on this, it has got some little holes punched in it. It does, because this is an RGB keyboard, it does have an RGB breathing mode, which I think is probably why they've put these little holes in there. But it is a bit annoying because, you know, a bit of cookie could, you know, fall down there and get inside it, and then you got the old problem of having to clean it out and stuff. Right, so let's look at the sort of typing first of all, I think. So the keys on this, on the Apple keyboard, are quite quiet. The keys on the Redragon are rather noisy. The Redragon is using Otemu blue switches, which are clicky ones. If we hold it down, you can hopefully hear it click there. The actual click noise isn't too bad. It's more the sort of the springing and when you hit it and it bottoms out and it bounces back up. That's really what makes the most of the noise there. This is available in one with Otemu red switches, but it seems that's only available from Amazon and Amazon US, and they don't ship to the UK. So the blue switches one, it was the only one that I was able to find that could be imported into the UK. So that's what I'm stuck with. Let's look next at the Touch ID on the Apple. The Redragon does not have Touch ID. The Apple does. It's quite nice, really. Just this button here. You press it, and it surprisingly it works even through the cover. If you try and do it with a different finger, it won't unlock. Whereas, you know, do it with the finger that you set it up with, and it does work. It's quite easy to set up as well. The only negative I've found about this is when I use an iPad as the screen for my Mac, and when I want to unlock sort of the Mac from booting up, the Touch ID button does not seem to work to unlock it. It only seems to work if I've already logged in and then I lock it. If I log out completely or I reboot it, then the Touch ID does not seem to work. But I mean, that's not really an issue as far as I know with the actual keyboard. That's more an issue with Mac OS. The RGB on the Redragon. So as you can see, sort of at the moment, it's got this sort of wave pattern, which is what it does normally by default. You can change the RGB. It's got two different sort of RGB things. There's the RGB for the keys, and then there's the RGB for the edging. And you can change the RGB through pressing the function button and sort of some other key to change it to what you want. I mean, I'm not really a fan of RGB myself, so I would probably want to turn it off if I was actually going to use this keyboard. I mean, I guess it looks sort of interesting initially, but I don't think it's something I would really want in day-to-day use. The Apple keyboard, of course, doesn't come with any RGB at all, so that's fine and good. If you were to have sort of an actual fight between these keyboards, the Apple it's fairly well built. It's, you know, like a metal frame and stuff, but I think just the weight and the size of the Redragon, it is plastic and it doesn't feel, I mean, it feels sort of fairly stiff and firm, but I think sort of if you smash that down on the Apple keyboard, it may well, you know, cause some breaks in the plastic, but I think the Apple keyboard would come off far worse than the Redragon. The other thing to look at is the key rollover. The Redragon is N key, so basically you can have all the keys pressed down and it will send all of it to the computer. The Apple, I've not been able to find any official information. By just sort of mashing the keys down on it, it appears to be sort of 6 or 7 key rollover. So the Redragon is definitely better in that respect. So if we have a quick look at the connections, so the Apple keyboard takes a lightning cable, but it is also wireless. So you only need to use the lightning really to charge it up. You got your on-off button up here, and it works with Mac and PC, so there's no issue there. The layout of it is, although this is the British English version, the @ symbol is above the 2 like an American keyboard, and the quote sign is over here, again like an American keyboard. So if you're like me and you're familiar with British English keyboards, that is quite annoying. The other annoying thing they've done on this keyboard is they've put the function key in the corner where you would expect the control key to be. I think Lenovo like doing that on their laptops as well, but for me, I'm just used to having control on being the very left key, so that's pretty annoying when I'm trying to type things. As you can see on the Redragon, control is where it should be, and it's just plugged in with a sort of a generic cable at the moment. But if we look at the USB, it does come with a USB cable, but the hole here to plug the USB cable in is very small, so not all USB cables will fit in there, which again, I mean, that's sort of not a great design. So the actual socket is seated quite deep within this hole. I'm not really sure why. You can hopefully see sort of it's very tight fit around that. Why they've designed it like that, I don't know. But that's how it is. In terms of the feel of the keys when you're typing, the Apple feels fine. It's maybe like a little bit mushy. With these, you obviously do get sort of a much better feel, but you do have to push them sort of quite a bit down for it to click. And there's quite a lot of travel on there. Sort of more travel than I'm used to. So neither are perfect, but you know they both do the job. You can type words on both of them. And I think that's probably it for now. So I'll hopefully be back with another comparison of a couple of other keyboards in another episode in the future.